Hi everybody, we are on air, my Beatles collection. With the release of the Capitol 1964 mono box on vinyl, which I did a review on recently, it got me thinking about some of the unofficial box sets that I have. Yesterday I did a video on a box called American Archive Part 3. And I explained at the time that that was the most interesting of the three that were available in this series called American Archive. I did not even ever purchase the Part 2, but I did purchase Part 1. And anyway, the Capitol box got me thinking about this because this American Archive Part 1 perhaps is the box that we could have gotten. Probably not on vinyl because these all have mono and stereo versions of every song. But the other reason that it wouldn't have been a box set this way is because this box starts with some Vee Jay stuff. So anyway, this is the box. So that's the front cover. There's the back cover. See, it doesn't say Part 1, it just says American Archive, but the others say Part 2 and Part 3. I took all the CDs out of that box, so there's a stack of them like I showed in some of the other box sets that I showed. So this set starts with introducing the Beatles, and this would be version 1 with the track listing on back. So this has Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You. For those of you familiar, Vee Jay only had the rights to these songs for a period of time, and they did not have the rights to Love Me Do for very much time at all. So version 2 of that album, same cover. This one is the so-called Add Back. But the contents of this CD are, it does not include Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You. It includes Ask Me Why and Please Please Me. And they did a fairly decent job of replicating the color band on the Vee Jay label. I didn't show you the other one, but it's the same except for the titles of Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You. So here's a nice to have. Of course, they were never officially released on CD. They were officially released on vinyl, and they were officially counterfeited on vinyl, probably more volume than the actual original pressings. Here's another one. This is Songs, Pictures, and Stories. Famously, these came with the same record inside, a version 2 of Introducing the Beatles. There also used to be a fold-out. It folded from here, and it folded out, and there were pictures inside. This is just a regular pack, and there's that as well. So this has the same tracks, only in this particular bootleg, for want of a better name, it does say Songs, Pictures, and Stories on the label. I actually have a real LP copy of this album, and the record says Introducing the Beatles. So they didn't even bother, when they changed the cover, they didn't even bother to change the records. They just put them in a different cover to try to sell you twice on the same product. If this was the LP, this would be one of the rarest and most valuable covers of all. The so-called portrait cover for the Beatles and Frank Ifield. Again, it calls songs from Introducing the Beatles, and it adds to them some Frank Ifield tracks. So let's look at the label on that. So this has the black Vee Jay label. So that's what that one looks like. I don't recall the Vee Jay label. Actually, I don't think I have a version with that specific label on vinyl. I assume it's a legit artwork. And then here's another one, Beatles versus the Four Seasons. I know a few collectors that have a copy of that. I don't have a copy of the Beatles versus the Four Seasons. I do have all of the ones I've shown so far. And then this was designed to be sort of a battle, the battle of the century, according to that front cover. And you were supposed to play one against the other. And do you like I Saw Her Standing There, or do you like Sherry? Do you like Misery, or do you like I Cried Before, and so on? And you were supposed to check off in the box the one that was better than the one to its right or left. Anyway, that's the Beatles versus the Four Seasons, and this has the oval Vee Jay label, again with the color band. These are really nicely done. I'm pretty sure they're CDRs. They don't look like they're factory silver, but they sound great. They look great. So the covers are nicely done. The labels on the CDs are nicely done. Here's another Vee Jay. Here the Beatles Tell All. Again, all these records are varying degrees of difficulty and value in trying to find the LPs. I have most of them except for the Four Seasons one. This is the actual CD for that one. So up until this point, these have all been Vee Jay, and the reason that I said that this box set was what I was thinking about when the Capitol Mono box came out is because the rest of the CDs in this part one of this box set, with one exception that I'll explain in a minute, the rest are just like what we got in the Capitol Mono box. The difference here is every one of these CDs, except these two, every one of these other CDs has every track in mono and then every track in stereo. So you get both on the same disc. And of course, Beatles records on Capitol were usually about 30 minutes, so there's plenty of room on a CD to double them up. So then there's the two discs for that, and then Beatles 65. So the only one you don't get in this box set that is in the Capitol box set is the early Beatles, and that wouldn't make any sense because it's already in here three times. It's in here twice as introducing the Beatles, and it's in here once as songs, pictures, and stories of the Beatles. So, I guess the bootleggers didn't think it was important to have the early Beatles in this box set. What they did put in this box set, this was a big exception, was Phil Spector's Christmas CD. Now, this was released later on, years later, on Apple. But this is the Phillies Records, which was his label, the Phillies Records label for his Christmas record. And that's what that looks like. I guess it was from the same era. So that would seem to explain why it's in this box set. Anyway, so again, that's the cover there, and you can see who all the various artists are. Ronnie Spector and Darlene Love, and all those folks they did a great job on these songs, and many of them are still very popular at Christmas time here in the States. So anyway, that's that box set. I mentioned I didn't even buy the American Archive Part 2, because basically it's the rest of the U.S. albums in their normal form, except again in mono and stereo. I didn't bother to get that. I have all of those in legit releases, and I have them all on vinyl, and so there really was no point in paying for another box set of things I already had. These I found a little bit intriguing, mostly because of the Vee Jay configurations. And the Part 3, I loved the Part 3 because that had, not only some never released but officially planned albums like Sessions, and we also had real music and love songs. So that other set, Part 3, that I showed the other day had, to me, a great combination of stuff that you just could not find on CD in any legitimate form, and I got them all in one place. So that was great. So that's pretty much it for today on this one. This is, again, the American Archive Part 1. And you can check for the Part 3 video that I posted the other day. I have several other similar box sets. One has Canadian and Australian releases on CD. Another has German releases, but on CD, which would include the famous Magical Mystery Tour version with the full stereo I Am the Walrus. So there's some good stuff in some of those other boxes, and I'll be showing those in the next few videos. So nice to see you again. Please come back and visit. If you like this video, please like with the thumbs up. Comment if you'd like to do that, and please subscribe, and you'll get to see more of these videos in the future. So thanks. That's it for today. Bye-bye.